Get away from some of these mosquitoes here. Well, how's it going? Today we're out here in the woods. I'm along the river, the Missouri River, on the Iowa side, and basically we're here for some breakfast. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It is buggy, full of mosquitoes. I probably don't even need all this wood. Well, I'll go through it for sure, but never know. Notice I'm carrying another canteen on my hip here. This is one I've been drinking my water out of. If you guys remember, I had said before that I had lost my heavy cover spork. I'm a huge fan of the heavy cover spork and canteen kit. As much as I come outdoors, the durability and just the usefulness of all that stuff really comes into play with what I do. May not be for everybody, but it definitely works for me. When I had lost my spork, I went ahead and ordered another one. And when I did, Chris over at Heavy Cover was cool enough to send me an anodized heavy cover spork. It's pretty cool. Might be hard to see in the light here, but you can probably see the color difference there. But in addition to that, since he knows how much I love my heavy cover canteen kit, he actually sent me another canteen kit. It's supposed to be a one-off, basically. The plastic lid only fits on the titanium lid, wouldn't fit on this one exactly. But my titanium lid at home, well, right here, fits on this perfect. So maybe something at the shop, or I don't know, but whatever. I'm happy with it. So thanks, Chris from Heavy Cover. I really appreciate it. And for those people who wonder if it'll fit in your, in your canteen kits, here's on my Molly canteen pouch. It fits just fine. And this is my Alice pack with my Alice clips on the back of it, pouch, and it fits just fine. So, and the reason why I use these, besides the fact that they're really durable, is I picked them up at the surplus shop, the surplus store. Oh man, super cheap. $5 for this one, $2 for this one. So I'm actually out here for a reason today. I want to give this Alpinaire, however you want to pronounce it, I want to give it a shot. This is the chicken gumbo. So, yeah, can't beat it, right? It's super lightweight. I haven't tried this. Now, I'm not a real big fan of the Backpacker's Pantry. I'm not going to say they're all bad, but for my part, from what I've tried, they haven't been great. So, anywho, 32 grams of protein, 540 calories, just add water. If you're out hiking a lot, this is a pretty good deal. If you're just sitting in your kitchen, hanging out and you're hungry, don't eat this. This isn't good for you. You don't need any of the fats or the proteins or the sodiums. You're not losing any of it. So these are meals for when you're out here on the river, in the woods, in the mountains, stuff like that. All right? So anyway, enough about that. Let's dig into this and do some cooking. I did add something a little bit different to my pack. You know, when I'm not bringing out my my bugaboo pot, which I hang on this, got a little stainless steel plate, and now it's a pan. So nothing spectacular. It's just a quick fix if you don't have a pot. But you can, this is actually isn't even a stainless steel plate. This is a stainless steel electric stove cover. I picked them up at the dollar store for $1. And there was four of them, two this size and two larger. So, and this is just a pot grabber. So, yeah, it's a cheap pot pan. I don't need to use that today. Today, I am going to be using Bushcraft Essentials Bushbox XL. I haven't used this stove in quite a while on any of my videos, so it's about time I get to use it. So I'm going to put an imprint of the stove. So that way I know how much I have to cover, which really isn't all that much, you know. So alright guys, well, I went ahead and I made this base for the stove here. I tell you what, I love being out here on the river. I love listening to the birds play, watching the fish jump in the water. I just love it. What I don't like is I do not like this sand. In fact, I despise this sand. If you have a stove with hinges in it, or just your gear, your kit just gets covered in sand. But you know what? It is what it is. It's a small price we have to pay in order to enjoy all this stuff. So it is what it is. Funny is I cut all this wood over here, and I made a little chopping block, but I wasn't recording. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did, so that way you can see. All right, so I took the small end of the baton off here, and I stuck it in the sand, and I pressed around it, and then I just stuck my wood that I wanted to cut on top of it, and I just batoned into it. You guys know that this axe blade is a beast. In fact, it is now coined the beast because that's what it is. But a little makeshift chopping block when you're on the sand seems to work pretty well. If you're not going to do that as you're trying to hit your wood is just going to sink right into the sand. So it's probably not a hack. Maybe it is, but it works. Today's fire is going to be brought to you by Bob 808 Nights Egg Drop Fire Starters. These things are awesome. I like them a lot. They're really handy. You know, if you ever need to get a fire started quickly, I'm going to cut it because I'm not going to need all of it. But that'll probably do. All these they're just a cardboard egg container. They're dryer lint and wax. And you just melt the wax over the dryer lint. Bob's using some pretty candles. They smell good. Anyway, so just break a piece up off on here. I'm gonna give it a light and I'm gonna drop it in the stove. I'm gonna throw some twigs on top of it, get it going, and we're gonna get food on. That's literally all it takes. Woo-wee! Sure does smell good though, that's for sure. Don't forget to take this out. You don't want to eat that. Here's a look at the contents. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Getting there. The stove is destroying the wood like a beast right now. Here's my clean out stick. Here it is. Good thing about keeping the heavy cover on my hip is it's out of the sand. I haven't had to worry about getting any sand in my water. Water's clearly boiling. Handle is nice and cool. I'm going to cover it until the food is just covered, or pour it until the food is just covered. There we go. And it says 10 to 12 minutes. So we'll leave it set for 12 minutes. I'll set my timer on my phone, just to give it the exact, I don't want to overdo it, you know what I mean? I want to do exactly how they say it should be done. Here we go, 12 minutes. And in the process of doing that, while that's going, I'm going to get a little bit of coffee going on here. A little bit of cappuccino. Spoon. That's going to be 2 cups of coffee right there. And 1 meal, one of these meals, and that took up my entire contents of water. Now, I'm not worried about it because I do have another canteen of water on me, so it's not a big deal. I still have plenty of water to drink on my way back on my hike out of here. And if all else fails, I don't like to drink the river water, but if something, you know, if I really needed to, I wouldn't, but I always carry my water filtration system on me, so it's not quite boiling yet, and that's all right with me. Because I can't drink boiling water. I'm going to put both of these in here. Like I said, this is 2. Made enough for 2 of them. Now, this may not be, am I recording? Okay, this may not be the same with everybody, but I've noticed personally that a lot of times when I'm making cappuccino or tea, well, not really tea, but when I'm making cappuccino or coffee, that if I put it in my water right before it starts to boil and I mix it up a little bit better, it just gets a better mix. Yeah, I have a problem sometimes where my stuff's not mixed all the way. Wow, that's perfect. So, the extra wood that I'm not using, because I'm not going to keep burning wood, that I'd already processed, I just put it down flat, and I'm using it so I don't put my heavy cover lid down in the sand or my pot. I just don't like the sand, but I like coming out, so gotta find a way around it, you know what I mean? And that's how I find a way around it. Cool thing is this bad boy can hang, so it's not in the sand. There was somebody who's hiking through the woods, you know, no more different than what I was doing, and they just kind of stopped by and kind of looked at all my gear and looked at my kit, and him and I talked for a little bit. So my timer did go off, and it's been gone off for about 5 minutes, so unfortunately I won't be able to check this at the 12-minute mark like I wanted to do, because I thought that may have been a little bit rude to sit there and start mowing down on my food while he was talking to me. But before I bite into this, I want you guys to take a look at it and get a look and break it down in there. Whoa. Look at that. Oh man, it smells good. Oh yeah. I'm gonna move you around because I think I've probably got that sun right in your eye, don't I? And then I'll go and take a look. Probably won't, but it's all good. So per tradition, here's the first bite rule on my breakfast. Still super freaking hot. These foil packs, they're something, aren't they, sometimes? Well, it's pretty good. Something in there still a little hard. I don't know if it's, not sure yet. think it's the okra. Okra is not all the way done. The bigger pieces. Now the okra is also sliced into some smaller sections. That's done. But some of the bigger pieces, they're not hard. Just a little chewy. And the chicken has a nice texture to it. So spicy chicken, sweet corn, bell peppers, okra, onion, and celery. So that may not be the okra that's sliced up really fine. That's probably this. It's probably the celery. They're green. It's good. It's got a really good texture. It's a fairly big bag, but this is definitely something that I would take with me bike packing, because I get super freaking hungry when I'm bike packing. Or if I'm through hiking, this is definitely something I would take. For a little jaunt like this, though, it's going to be one of my own dehydrated meals, because there's a lot of food here. There is a lot of food here. I mean, it says 2 servings per container. A really hungry person or a light walk, 2 people definitely. But it is good. It's really good. Thought it'd be spicier since it is Cajun flavored, but it's peppery, like salt and pepper peppery, not pepper like spicy peppery. So if you want it to be spicier, maybe bring your own Cajun seasoning or your own hot sauce. It'll be alright. Throw some peppers in it, jalapenos or something. But it's not bad. Not at all. But I want to emphasize, these aren't something that if you're going to be sitting in your kitchen eating, you know, or wandering around the house. These things are packed with sodium, okay? 630 milligrams of sodium. It's 26% of the daily value. Sodium, carbs, you know, it has a lot of that stuff in there, because these are specifically made for people who are hiking, who are backpacking. There's a reason why there's a picture of a guy backpacking on it. So, but they're convenient. I mean, unless you need the nutrients or the carbs or something like that because you haven't eaten in a while, this, you know, definitely. But so, oh, here comes the mosquitoes. My fire went out. So the gentleman that stopped by and had a chit chat with me, he was telling me the last time he was out here, or one of the times he was out here, there was a guy over across on the other bank fishing. Our property over there, since it flooded really bad, and there used to be a bunch of fishing, like shanties over there. That place is owned now by the Corps of Engineers. And he was over here fishing. He saw a sheriff coming down the way. Sheriff came down here, stopped, got out, walked over here, led him back up to the car, and arrested him. I would think the guy may have been warned before, but it is trespassing. And when they pull in, then he said, then he saw a tow truck come before the sheriff left, towed the guy's car out of here. So I won't be going to that side of the water. That's for sure. That sucks. But then again, if I saw a sheriff coming, I'd probably just get up and walk away. Or here's the best one: not trespass. So I think that if you're on a kayak or a boat and you're doing like a long kayaking trip and you pull into the bank, I think you'll be okay. You know, pull into the bank, don't destroy anything, don't harm anything. If you're just pulling in to sleep and have a light meal or something like that, that's good. And I think it'd be a good idea to have like a backup alcohol stove or Esbit, so that way you're not using any of the natural stuff around you, because it is on private property, or it could be on private property. Stoves like this, are really good options when it comes to that, because they're not just wood stoves, they're multi-fuel stoves. So I can put a Trangia burner in here, I can cook with Esbit in here, so those are always something to keep in mind also when you're packing for a trip, and what kind of stove you're going to bring along with you. Now, granted, the stove is fairly good size. I wouldn't be bringing that stove with me on a bike packing trip, but you know, something similar for me would work fine. Just a smaller stove. Multi-fuel stoves are brilliant, in my opinion. Speaking of multi-fuel stoves, if you guys and gals are members of StoveAholics, that's right, if you're a member of StoveAholic, I want to thank everybody, and I really appreciate you guys. In fact, I appreciate you guys with all the input, all the valuable input that you have, and the help that you're giving to other members of the group. So, because of that, a reason why I came out here and used the Bushcraft Essentials Bushbox XL is because Detlev, the owner of Bushcraft Essentials, sent me another Bushbox XL to give away to the members of StoveAholics for being valuable members of a good stove group, forum, whatever you want to call it. There's an alarm going off way over there. Probably at that plant over there. But at any rate, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer another Bushbox similar to this one, but not dirty and brand new. And it's not going to have the extended grill plate with it, but it will have the grill plate, and it will have a nice case that it comes with. I didn't bring the stove out with me. I'm not going to carry two Bushbox XLs out here with me, but I do have the stove already, and yeah, I'm going to keep it open internationally. I always do. I'll eat the cost of shipping if it goes overseas, because I appreciate all you guys' input that you have. So, if you're not a member of StoveAholics, you're going to miss out on this opportunity. But if you are a member, you guys are all valid. Just let me know if you're in when I post this into the group of StoveAholics. If you're not, go to Facebook, join StoveAholics, and you will be entered into one of the next giveaways. I could offer this to everybody on YouTube, but you know what? That's not fair, because not everybody on YouTube is in the group, and they have got such good input. And this is my way of saying thank you, and this is another way from a stove company of saying, hey, thank you. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to finish this up, and I'm going to enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet. As soon as that alarm at that plant goes away, because I can only see the rooftop of that building way over there. That's pretty far, and I can hear it. And that's annoying. Man, that's loud. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you guys.